Before we dive in, let me ask you something. What would you do if you were 30,000 feet in the air and suddenly the captain's trembling voice echoed through the cabin? If there are any combat pilots on board, please come forward immediately. Would you freeze? Would you pray? Or would you rise to the call? Stick with me until the end because what you're about to hear is a true cinematic story of courage, redemption, and survival. And before we begin, don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and share this with someone who needs to believe in the hidden strength of ordinary people. Now, imagine this. You're 30,000 feet in the air, somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean. The cabin lights are dim, passengers are dozing, flight attendants glide quietly through the aisles with cups of water. Everything feels normal until the calm is shattered. The captain's voice cuts through the silence, trembling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. If there are any combat pilots on board, please come forward immediately. Every head turns. Confusion spreads like wildfire. And in row 10, a young woman stirs awake. No one could have guessed her next move would change the fate of everyone on that plane. Her name was Elena Carter. She was 29, a former Air Force fighter pilot who had walked away from the skies 2 years earlier after a mission went tragically wrong. Now she was dressed in simple jeans and a hoodie, blending in as just another passenger escaping the noise of life. Nobody knew her past. Nobody knew that she once flew F-16s, dancing with death in the skies. When the captain's words echoed through the cabin, Elena's heart jolted awake. Combat pilots? Why on earth would a commercial jet need one? She unbuckled her seatbelt slowly. Her instinct screamed at her to stay invisible. Her memories dragged her back to the last mission, the explosion, the comrades she couldn't save. She had promised herself she was done. But the captain's voice carried something she recognized instantly: desperation. Lives were at stake. She rose. Eyes followed her. Whispers broke out. Is she really a pilot? Elena ignored them. Her jaw tightened. She walked into the cockpit.
The scene was chaos. The captain, pale and sweating. His co-pilot, slumped, unconscious. Warning alarms blared. The plane had flown into a violent storm. Autopilot was gone, and critical systems were failing. If I collapse too, this plane will fall, the captain gasped. Elena's training surged back like muscle memory. Her fingers traced the controls, different from her fighter jet days, but familiar enough. She locked eyes with the captain. Call sign Viper. U.S. Air Force, retired, taking the co-pilot seat. She gripped the yoke. The storm outside clawed at the aircraft. Lightning illuminated terrified faces in the cabin. Oxygen masks dropped. Children cried. The plane bucked and lurched. But Elena's breathing steadied. She had flown through anti-aircraft fire. She had dodged missiles. She had danced with death. To compare that, she muttered, this storm is just another enemy to outmaneuver. The hours blurred. Fuel ran low. Her muscles screamed, but she didn't falter. Through the darkness, a faint runway appeared, the coastal strip of a military airbase. This is Delta 473, former USAF pilot at the controls. Request emergency landing. Static. Then, copy that, Viper. You're clear to land. We're with you. Crosswinds battered the plane. The runway rushed up. Passengers prayed, clutched hands, whispered promises to God. Elena narrowed her focus. The yoke, the runway, her heartbeat. Steady. Steady. The wheels screeched, bounced, slammed hard. She wrestled with every ounce of strength left in her body, until finally, mercifully, the plane rolled to a stop. Silence. Then, an eruption of sobs, cheers, and applause. The captain turned to her, tears in his eyes. you just saved 300 souls. But Elena only shook her head. No, they saved me. Because for years she had carried guilt, believing she didn't deserve to live after the comrade she lost. But in that cockpit, fighting to keep strangers alive, she found her purpose again. When she stepped into the cabin, passengers rose to their feet. A little girl ran to her, hugging her leg. "Thank you, Angel." For the first time in years, Elena Carter smiled through tears. She hadn't asked for recognition. She hadn't asked for fame. All she had wanted was peace. And somehow, by saving others, she had found it again. Row 10 will never be forgotten, because that was where an angel was sleeping, waiting for the call. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you believe ordinary people carry extraordinary strength, hit like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more powerful cinematic stories.